Welcome back to Girl Hacked. Today's episode is a fun one. I'm joined by someone who knows his way around both the gym and the TikTok algorithm. You might remember him from Squid Game: The Challenge Season 2. He may not have made it all the way to the finish line, but he definitely made it to your For You page. He's known for dancing and manifesting his future wife one TikTok at a time. The one and only Gio is here. We're talking about life after Squid Game, what really goes down behind the scenes, and how he turned being eliminated into an online glow-up. Let's get into it. So, Gio, what made you decide to apply for this show?
Yeah, so when season one aired, I was down for baseball for a sickness. So that was basically the only thing I had to watch in the hospital and, outside of baseball. So I decided to give it a shot, not knowing that I was actually going to make it. It was kind of one of the things where, you just apply and it happens. I wasn't expecting, I completely even forgot about applying, but I've been a big competitor my entire life. And I was like, you know what, let's just give it a shot. And, 456 people. So like, if I'm one of them, that's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. So I was like, let's do it,
Even having a 1 in 456 shot of winning that much money, that blows lottery odds way out of the water. It's like a pretty good odds, that you'll ever get. So
100%. People don't realize that like the entire world has the opportunity to apply for the show. Like we're getting selected by 456 people. Mind you, there's like 100,000 people that apply for the show. And it's all over the place. Season 1 kind of blew up as well. And it's just all over the place. And just to be selected and to have your story heard and have the opportunity to compete not only on Netflix, mainstream, but to win $4.56 million is crazy to me. Crazy.
It really is crazy odds.
Crazy.
And I think that was crazy too. How do they pick us? Like, that is crazy. But I would just say, like, for people wondering at home, the casting process to be on reality TV is like, I don't know what your interviews were like, but I had some of the most fun just talking with them for the first initial call.
Yeah, but I'm actually friends with the cast producer who actually helped me, like to shoot the video for Netflix, like while I'm having an interview. Super cool. Yeah. She was even sending me videos of like where she was from. Oh my God, she's amazing. I love her. She's awesome.
Yeah. They really found like their people because they're asking pretty personal questions sometimes. And they're also like razzing you and trying to like feel out your personality, but they're so fun to talk to that you really do feel at ease. You're like, yeah, I'm having so much fun. Like when I hung up, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to one of my friends I've known for 20 years. Like I was like so open,
Yeah, but they picked some interesting characters because when we're in there are some interesting characters. Like there was not one person that was kind of just like dull and boring. So everyone had like their own story, own personality, like own way to talk. Even though some people butted heads, but it really showed that they really did their job and they did a good job picking everyone.
Yeah. And I would say for me personally, I made sure to be probably amped up the obnoxiousness of who I am, like at least by 30% for those calls. Do you think you were the same way?
Yeah. They wanted me to really showcase like me being an athlete and being competitive, but like, kind of in a snobby way, you get your things how you like, like type of way, like
100%.
But you have to like boost your interview kind of like your personality up by like tenfold. Like you want to be on the show, so you have to show your personality.
Yes, I was going to say that too. I was like, I acted so much cockier than I would ever in real life. I said things about myself I would never say. I just came in like, of course you'll want me. I'm the greatest, and that's kind of what you have to do.
So I'm like, I had some cringy quotes in there that I'll never say in real life. And I was like, what am I saying? But she was like, yeah, like that's sick. I was like, oh yeah, like.
It's so embarrassing pitching yourself. And I did think after I hung up on one of them, I was like, I bet she thinks I am the biggest bitch ever. Because I was just like, of course she'll want me. Another thing I did was I kept thinking, so I wore the craziest, brightest color I could wear, just because it's like, if they're looking through, and you have like fringe and feathers hanging off here. So, I mean, it is eye-catching.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I did that too. I don't know if it helped or not, but I'm just giving people tips. So.
No, but like the way that they handled it was super like professional. It was more of a guide than like someone like interviewing you. Like it felt like a conversation. You know what I mean?
100%.
I really like that. That was awesome. They made it really easy.
I did too.
Really easy.
And for people wondering too, there's a lot of downtime in between. So maybe you get the call and they say, well, maybe you'll hear from us, maybe you won't, maybe it could be months. And that just sets you on edge. Your brain starts going like, what if I get this? What if I get to go? And then you go to the next step and then you go to the next step. And each time there's so much downtime, weeks, months in between that you're just like, Like, it's so hard not to know, but that's part of the process.
No, it's scary. It's scary because once you like get the opportunity and they're talking, you're like, oh my God, I have a chance. And then you start thinking about the future of like, how would you start playing it and game planning it? Like by the first episode, I was already game planning it. But then I was like, you know what? I don't have a game plan. I'm just going in at this rate.
Yeah.
Because the way
and that's what I did too. I think everyone thinks they're going to have a plan. This is actually what they told me. They kept pressing me for like, well, what's your strategy? What's your strategy? And I said, I could tell you I plan on going and doing this, being the villain, being this, like anything. And I said, nobody knows until they get there. That is a really overwhelming experience. And for most of us, unfortunately, we just completely put our guards down. We made a ton of friends. We were very genuine with people. We really liked the people we were with. So when we find out a few people were lying, like Eric, I was shocked, truly. And I'm not mad about it at all. He actually reached out and apologized after. But the thing that I was upset about was I had a really traumatic childbirth with my daughter. And we didn't know if she was going to make it. And it was like 6 years until we knew she was okay. We had millions in medical bills. It was a horrible experience. And he asked me about that and like pulled me aside and was like, I just want to know, like, you know, what can I do to support my fiance during, there was no baby. So like you made me share something with you personally. And that was like icky to me. I was like, maybe we could have left that out. Like,
no, 100%, especially in that atmosphere when like you're separated from the world and you're kind of just in a condensed, you know, isolated area. You start getting a little bit more sensitive and you start like bonding with the people who are around you because that's the only people you can talk to. You know what I mean? So like, I get this whole strategy and everything. I mean, like it made crazy like screen time. You know what I mean? Like it's already in the trailer. You know what I mean? And so when you're in there, I feel like you could play whatever role you want to play, but like there's like obviously certain boundaries as well. But I mean, again, at the end of the day, we're shooting a TV show, so it's like. Yeah, it's crazy. You know what I mean? But
I expected people to kind of be like villains and stuff or saying things behind people's backs. I just didn't expect someone to like pull me aside personally and like ask me information that was like sensitive like that or hurtful for no reason at all. There was no baby. So I was like,
that's like a boundary. You know what I mean? So I mean,
what did you think going into the dorms? Like the first time we get a step in, people also, we should mention to people, we really are seeing everything for the first time when you see us on camera. There's no like, hey, this is the room, this is what game you're playing. We see it for the first time and we're all spiraling like, what's the game? But when you stepped into the dorms, what is your first, like, what's your memory of that?
Yeah, while we're going into the dorms, I think one of the biggest things, like, mind you, like while we're traveling there and everything, you kind of brainstorm of like what it's going to be like when you first arrive. You see it on TV, season 1. You're like, okay, like I just got to picture this. There was no way that I would ever believe that they would throw us in there with 456 people right off the bat, mind you. And like people were coming in like sections and sections and sections and like groups. I was one part of the back end. So when I walked in there, everyone is staring at you. It looked like a prison cell. It was crazy. You get people on the balcony, you know, just staring at you. And I'm like, I'm eating this up. But it's really bigger than what you think, I guess. Yeah. You can like picture the way that it's going to be. But once you walk in there, it's kind of just like, you know what I mean? It's really, it's really crazy. It's really crazy.
And also the noise. So I was the same. There was already a ton of people in there when I got in there. And I just got this like really overwhelming, like, because you know, you've seen players, because we did our media trainings. We saw people for dinners and stuff in the hotel. We didn't have a ton of like we bonded with people for sure that were just like on the same row rooms as us in the hotel. We couldn't go in and out of our rooms or anything like that, but we did bond with people. We had meals with people before. So some of the player connections were already there. People wondering like, how did you just make friends? You have, and again, nothing else to do. No phones, no TV, no entertainment. You start talking to people, you hear their life story, you feel bad for them. You like a lot of people, but the dorms were so loud when I went in. I was instantly like, I can barely hear people, and I'm supposed to go around and shake everyone's hand and introduce myself, and they're not going to remember me after 5 seconds. There's 455 other people to me. It was like really overwhelming. Like,
no, seriously, that's when you like, we kind of, I think what we had, I mean, me, you, we were the ones that were eating together, and we had the media training together. So like when it comes to like having that people that you already seen, kind of like, you know, you remember their faces and everything, you kind of guide towards them, and that's what kind of like eased everything down. But it was so chaotic. It's so like, I was even exploring in the bathroom and everything. So many people walking around, like, you know what I mean? And, and I'm so bad with names in general. So imagine 456 people. So
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh shit, I'm never going to remember this. And it's hard too, because you realize you're making a first impression with all these people, but you've already introduced yourself at this point, 150 times? It's like really overwhelming to think you're going to keep going up to people and like, what are you talking about? Like,
Crazy.
At some point, I just went and sat up on the rafters for a minute, and I was like, and a few more people were sitting beside me, and we were just having a quiet conversation, because I was like, but it was scary in there, because when you were talking about seeing the people up on the bleachers, I was like, those people are already in an alliance. Like, that was my first thought. I was like,
already
look at all these alliances.
Yeah, I think he was more anxious as well because, mind you, there's only a certain amount of beds in there. There's like, 250 something beds in there, and there's 456 people in there. So I think you're already anxious if more people keep coming in, and you're looking at the door and you see more and more people coming in. I'm like, okay, there's eventually, like, not everyone's staying here tonight. So,
and yes, we all figured that out kind of together. Someone brought up, wait, I just counted the beds. And then we're like, oh my gosh. And we all, did you think it was going to be red light, green light? I really did.
I thought it was going to be red light, green light. Yeah. I had a feeling because I was thinking about, how are you going to eliminate a large group of people in one game? And red light, green light is the only way that, that could happen unless we play like a different game. But
yeah.
I feel like everything
yeah.
that we theorize, the games, like every game that we theorize, it's just like you just still never know what we're going to play.
Yeah.
So
you're always wrong. It's just like pentathlon. We kept paying attention to verbiage. We're like, did they say a group of people or a team of people? And then they just cut us down the middle. And so the people that you like, that you already chose, you're like, oh, half of us are leaving. Great.
Yeah. Oh my God. During pentathlon, I made a decision because I was with like the other part where I had like an alliance going. I was with them and I was like, I don't have a good feeling about this. I think we should all kind of just split up, so we're just not all get eliminated. And I was the first to go at pentathlon. I turn around and I see your line and I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. I was so scared, you guys. I was like, oh no, they're gonna have to face each other. I was like, oh boy.
Because you knew since the very beginning, like and it worked out for us in X and O. We were all just kind of like, we're gonna stick together, come hell or high water. And then it was like, it was sad. Okay, what is your biggest ick in the dorm?
Oh my God. I know some people couldn't I get it. Some people couldn't one of the biggest things where people were trying really hard to get screen time. You can tell right away that people were only there to get screen time. I was there to compete and also obviously get screen time, but there's a point where you make it obvious. Number two is the people that reeked. Oh my God, there's some people that reeked. Oh my God. Why do I get it? The first 2 days, we couldn't shower too much. I get it. There's a lot.
We didn't shower.
No, we didn't shower. We were marinating.
That was shocking.
We were marinating in there, but some people have just naturally bad odor. But I stayed away from them. But they reeked.
Yeah.
They reeked.
So I'll name drop since you won't. But the Australian dude with the teeth. I can't remember his. Oh, Jaunty going for screen time. You're having a normal conversation with this guy, and all of a sudden he's like, and I'm on. He had
He switched up. Him and the other Australian, Harry, who I actually became friends with. Harry was like, yeah, dude, I'm just going to be ruthless. But then he actually was a really cool guy who never became ruthless. On the bus there, you know what I mean? He was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to make so many enemies. We go in there and he's the nicest guy ever. I think it completely switched up, but I don't think he could do it. But Jaunty was ruthless. I heard Jaunty was ruthless.
Yeah. What was the funnest thing for you about being on the show?
The funnest thing, oh my God. I think just the interactions with different people. I was one of those people that just went around and interacted with everyone, just saying hi. And I wasn't more of a game plan section. I wasn't going over to, ask anybody or just make friends just to make friends. You know what I mean? I think I was just there and I just having a good time with everyone, playing games, playing charades with Grace and interacting with everyone. I mean, the first time I walked in, I think I went to the bathroom and I was looking at the bathrooms and everything. And then the camera turns to me. I'm like, oh, okay, let's do this. I start beatboxing and a girl named London from England comes over and starts rapping. And we have a music thing going on in the bathroom. It was crazy. I think that was one of my favorite moments. But I think the not knowing what's going to happen, I find that really exhilarating.
Yeah, that was really fun.
What about for you?
Just the same thing, meeting people. I had my group and I had the people that I bunked with, but every day I was like, hey, that group I haven't talked to, I'm going to go over and talk to them. And it was the same thing. I just genuinely wanted to know these people and find out about them. And there was still people I didn't meet, even though I made it I don't know, top 55, 57, somewhere in there. I never met 98 Matt.
Really?
Never talked. Nothing. had no interaction with him whatsoever. And then when he was up for elimination, I said to him, like, I don't even know you. So like, we'll fresh start tomorrow. We'll figure it out tomorrow. And then we didn't ever get to that point. But then it was weird too, because after I felt like disingenuous going up and talking to him after it was like, I don't know. But yeah, it's such a huge personality and big player. Never once, like, we never crossed paths. I didn't remember seeing him until he was up for elimination. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah, I specifically remember him in the white room, during the X and O game. He was, his whole call was, he lost a brother, we gained a family. And like, in the moment, I was like, yeah, dude. And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's crazy how people can rile you up. And then afterwards, you're like, that's the cringiest thing that ever happened. We're all like, yeah, we ride it, Don. Like,
yeah, but people don't, like, when you're in there, you're like, oh, like, that's so sick. But then you keep thinking about it. And remember, you're like, oh, that was mad cringy. Oh my God. Yeah.
It really was. You get this like group mentality that's so crazy. I was telling everyone after the O's got eliminated, I said that room in 3 seconds turned into a nightclub.
Yes.
People were just like amped. People were hugging me from all over. I'm not a hugger in my personal life.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God. Like, it was like hug after hug after hug after hug. And everyone's sweaty face up. And I was like,
especially with our alliance. Yeah. I remember hugging Al. I was like, oh my God, Al. Like, I completely forgot he was in our alliance, but
yeah, I know. He's going to hear this.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Al.
It was crazy, man. There's a lot of in our alliance that I love. It's crazy.
I know. There's something that I said that was really cringy, and actually I don't remember if it's going to air or not, but that'll be crazy. I shouted out during catch. There was this whole thing happened to catch, and I wanted this player to get out because he was being so nasty. Yeah. And the guy that wasn't going to throw to him, I wanted him to throw to him because we both knew he was going to get out. And it was like the right thing to do, like to throw to that guy. But I said, I literally stand up and I'm like, how you play the game is who you are. And I'm like passionate about it. I'm feeling it. Alicia was like, oh, I loved that moment. That's so sweet. Like all the stuff. I get home, my husband's like, please, God, don't let that air. That is the cringiest thing ever. And we laugh about
Alicia's
it.
Alicia's like a marshmallow. Alicia loves everything. Alicia's awesome. But
she's so sweet. I know. I love her.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Okay. So we talked about getting on the show and everything, but your game, when you went out, give us like a brief, like what happened in pentathlon. And again, we're not going to blame any players and we don't care. Like this really was chance. And the thing is, all of us chose our game, but maybe someone else would have played our game better. 100% someone could have played my game better. But what happened? How did you guys go out? What did it end on?
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to go that day, I think, but we got supposed to go to day one, and I was with the twins. I was like, okay, like cool, whatever. Like when they split us up, I was looking at our team and I was looking at their team, and I was like, my team didn't have any confidence going on. I mean, I love Cindy. Cindy was crying and stuff. I was like, oh my God, poor girl. Like, because she was the only person that knew Ganji. And mind you, this is before they showed us how to play it. So in the first 5 minutes, we had to choose our roles, but I didn't know they were going to show us how to do Ganji because I didn't know the sequence. I didn't know anything. So Cindy was like, I'm the only one that knows how to do it. So I asked everyone, I gave everyone a simple thing. I was like, do you believe that you can do it? And they're like, yeah. And so I gave like a big cringy speech going on before, just to get their confidence up because I could see that they were all stressing. Anyways, mind you, we start practice walking and I hear dome, dome, dome. I'm like, what is going on? I look to my left, right? I see the twins jumping with everyone. They weren't walking, they were jumping in sequence. They're gonna show us because our game is really big. They were jumping instead of walking. And I was like, oh yeah, we're screwed. We're screwed. Okay, but the biggest thing that I would say, everyone in my group did really well. They did the best they could do, right? There's obviously a game that we were stuck on, and I chose Cindy. I think Cindy was good to do amazing. She did awesome, mind you. But I just didn't think that Cindy had really small hands. I mean, we know a little Cindy. She has really small hands. And she tried her best. She got it done finally, but it just wasn't in time. But I never got to go. I think it was more heartbreaking that I never got to go or do anything. But it was a really competitive game, and I loved it, even though obviously I'd come back. But I think what they did was actually really fun. I really enjoyed it. But stuff happens for a reason, and I think the jumping thing is sick. I think what they did was sick. They deserved to win that. I was just confused. I was like, who's jumping right now?
It's like the war cry or something. You look over and you're like, oh shit, they are ready. They're locked in. They are like,
it's crazy. We just never thought that they would jump all together. Mind you, they had Robin too and another older woman So like, I didn't know what they were going to do. Like I just didn't expect them to jump. And Robin was like, she was like, yeah, I don't know why we jumped. I was dying. I was like, you guys, I mean, you did it, Robin. You really killed it. So
Yeah.
Robin, she was stuck on the cars for a while.
I know. The sweating scene. I can't wait for that. It's going to be so fun.
It was, we're drenching. There was a time in the game where I was like sitting like, you got this. And she's like, shut up. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's hard because like you didn't know, like, do I keep encouraging them? Do I be quiet? There was times that our team kind of just like went with the vibe. But something about pentathlon that you just brought up that is making me think of something that viewers would like to know about is, again, we've made it clear, you don't see the game halls before you see the game halls. No. So you don't have any idea what game you're playing. And even like with catch, we went in there, we're trying to take clues from the walls. We're like, what the is this game? Nobody could figure it out. Nobody even came close to guessing. What did you think of the food? Like, were you one of the people that got food from other people? Like, were you like, yes, I'm hungry and I will eat other people's food, or no?
Crazy. I ate a lot of food, but like when I was in there, I didn't feel like a little bit of hunger at all. For some reason, I wasn't eating that much in there. And it didn't help that the first meal that they gave us was a vegan food. Like it was a vegan meal. It was disgusting. This was before X&O. It was disgusting. I was thinking like maybe some proteins, some meats in there. Yeah, no. It was like vegetable. I'm not a big vegetable guy either. So like, yeah, it's just gross. And then the porridge was horrific every morning. No sugar, no flavor. I got it down though, but I was never quick to say like, is anybody not eating theirs yet?
Yeah. So that's funny too, because it was always like people that you wouldn't expect. So like Sean, he was eating like 3-4 tins of food. I'm like, huh? Yeah. He was like so hungry. And my thing was, I'm usually the hungriest in the morning and then it tapers off and like I could give a shit, but waking up and not having something, that's why I was like, oh my gosh, I would plug my nose and like hurry and do a scoop of porridge water, plug my nose, scoop of porridge water. Like it was almost impossible. And I love oatmeal. I love oats. This is something different. It was the texture of snot. It was disgusting.
Porridge was nasty. I'm never having it again. I have like PTSD. Porridge, PTSD. I don't understand and that with beans. Oh my God. What's up with them giving morning? That was
what? What is with Kate? Remember the morning we go in, the very first morning, we get there to the film set and we're all just like, ugh. And we like didn't want to eat, but we did want to eat. And we don't know if we're playing red light, green light. We don't want to drink too much. What if we have to pee? How long? And they gave us beans, cold beans, and that giant like pork sausage thing. And I was like, I don't know what's going on over here in London, but I can't be a part of it. Like,
yeah, no, I did not like that at all. Hell no.
That was so gross.
No. That was so gross. Porridge.
Beans for breakfast is diabolical. And especially that many people in the bathroom, people kept saying it was like affecting them. I'm like, please stop eating it then. Please, God.
I don't know how people are eating them. It was really rough. That was probably one of the biggest complaints was the meals, but I'll do it 150 times over again if I'm back in there. But.
I mean, yeah. Okay. If you could have brought one item into Squid Game with you, what would it have been?
A lot of people say their phone, but I don't think it would have been my phone. I think it would have just been like, no, actually, I would have brought my phone in because there's going to be a lot of things that they don't show in the show. Like the side things that we do, like the charades, the games, the interactions with everyone, the fun conversations. And I think I'd only bring a camera, not a phone, a camera just so I can record everything, like the fun things for memory's sake.
Yeah.
I was pretty good without my phone in there, but a camera would have been fantastic. I would have loved it just so I can look back.
Maybe. The phone would have destroyed the process. It is so bizarre. What's crazy to think about is like, phones, we use them for stuff, but like what adults do you know that could go 2 to 3 weeks without their phone?
Yeah.
There are very few people in this world, truly, which is an insane thing to say, that will ever have an experience where they go 2 to 3 weeks without their phone. Yeah. And when I tell you it's life-changing, like you really get down to the core of who you are. I told my husband when I came out, I was like, I actually like what's really bizarre, and I won't get into it on here, but I had some like childhood trauma. Mm-hmm. And I am telling you, things in there traumatized me, especially because like the farther we got in, you've talked to people, like each game that got played, people came out more upset, more traumatized, more like the lack of sleep. There's a lot of things that like led to that feeling, but like some of it was like undone purely just because I process things. And like I tell myself I don't need people. I'm not someone who has like a huge group of friends. I kind of just hang out with my husband and my daughter. I don't like do a lot of social stuff. And being in there and like getting a taste of like the really like the purest joy of humanity and people that like were just so genuine and making all these friends. I came out and I was like so messed up. Like I was like, I need people. I like restored my faith in humanity kind of. It was like a really good experience. But the phone thing, I was like fine off my phone. I mean, I was like, it's gone. That's it. But I think for me, I would have brought in a pen and paper because I was like, the second I get out of here, I'm going to detail every day by day, like what happened so I don't forget. I was on the plane and I was like, I can't even remember. I can't even keep the days straight. Like,
yeah, I think, just a sense of time. We didn't have a sense of time of anything, to be honest. Like,
yeah. Jenny. Oh my God. She's going to hate this. Okay. Jenny pops down. We had a snore too. That was crazy. She pops down to Ashley's bunk. So Ashley's like, I'm laying there one morning, like just waking up. She's like, Jenny's head all of a sudden appears. She like hangs her head upside down. She goes, did you hear that cuckoo motherfucker? Because they were like, because they were going like this. Cuckoo. Like that was how they were snoring.
There were some insane snores in there. I think top 3 would be Marcus, Mark, and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my! I know Marcus snored a lot, but Robin was crazy. But I heard Mark snored a lot, and Marcus.
I'm like, guys, please go see an ear, nose, and throat. Go see an ENT for us, okay? Now that you're out.
Okay. It sounds like a rainforest in there. I'm telling you, there's so many noises.
That's so true. It's like monkey noises. There's like water dripping somewhere. Someone's like
when I mean a frog, I'm not bullshitting. There was in the night. I was like, this cannot be real. And
I was so scared about waking people up. I would take my plimsolls, which are the shoes, guys. I would take my shoes and hold them and tiptoe down the stairs. And then only when I got to the bottom, I would slip them on and like walk to the bathroom. I was like so scared of waking anyone up because I was up all night. Kurt was like, I hate sleeping by you. You're so creepy. He's like, anytime of night I wake up. He goes, so he was down below me on the bottom and I would be like laying on my side and it was so just depressing. Everyone just falls asleep around me within minutes. And I'm just sitting there. And sometimes I just be like cackling to myself, making myself laugh. I wrote the rap, I'm just like laying there all night long. And Kurt was like, doesn't matter. He's like, I'd wake up to pee and you're just like, your creepy eyes like staring down at me. Because he would like stir and I'm like, oh, someone's awake now. And he was like, you're like the monkeys from Wizard of Oz. He's like, hey, just like, I felt so bad, but I couldn't sleep for days. That was part of it.
I think I was messed up. It was terrible.
Yeah, Sean's like, oh, the second my head hits a pillow and go to sleep, I'm like, you're mentally ill. Like there's so much stress going on. What do you mean? You can just go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Being in the dorms, was that the longest you've ever gone without showering?
Oh yeah. And it wasn't even that. I wasn't in the games for too long. I think it was in there for like 2.5 days, I think.
We eventually got smart and switched to the men's underwear. When I tell you, girls, the underwear they gave the women, didn't matter what size you chose. They were like Janko jeans of underwear. They were cargo panties. They were this big that you could lift them all the way up to go like tuck under your bra. They were parachutes. It was the craziest thing I've ever worn. I was like, this is nuts. I'm like, you could store food in there if you needed. You could take anything with you. Like,
yeah,
they were massive. So yeah, we switched over to your guys's, and then you guys were running out of clean underwear because all of us were like,
they're gone. Yeah, even day 2, they were like pretty much gone. I was like, because I didn't know what was going on. I still have mine, but I didn't. I think ours was cool. It was just really loose. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
cool. I mean, we had a better situation than what you guys had. So
gross.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we all learned like another thing, like you already spoke on this about making a judgment about someone just based on meeting them, the Australian guy, and you're like, this guy's a douchebag, and then he ends up not being.
Yeah.
I think it really was crazy to be like, we are all going around making judgments on people all the time. And if you spend like 5 minutes with them, you're like, oh, you know what I mean? It's pretty crazy how we're wrong most of the time, and okay, do you remember the night? It was the night before we went in the games. We're all eating dinner and you're like, we should do Squid Games. Like Squid Game should be a dating show, which actually you brought this up. And I honestly think it would be an excellent idea because again, no hair, no glam, no makeup.
Yeah.
You're just stripped down to like nothing. Yeah. And you're meeting people and talking to people and it's a better version of yourself. It's a truer version of yourself without all the hype. It would be a much better way to get to know each other. Kind of like Love is Blind, but like better.
Yeah.
But you were like, I'm just going to be walking around the dorms naked all the time. And I was like, remember, I got so mad. I was like, I'm going home. I was like, if someone's walking around nude, I'm going home. And on second thought, the producers wouldn't have allowed that because it's like a family show. They would have been like, but you were like insisting you were going to be nude the whole time. And I was like, no, gonna go home. Can't do this.
Yeah, the thing is like people don't like, I'm really like open when it comes to stuff. But like when I wasn't actually going to be naked. I think I just make a lot of jokes and people don't get that I'm a really jokey person. I remember the first time I met Sydney, I made a joke about her and her mom, and she tore me a new one. Tore into me. I was like, oh, my bad. Because I just joke a lot. Like, there's never a time when I'm like super serious. But yeah, like the dating thing would have been crazy. Dating Squid Game.
Yeah. I still think it's a good idea. I still think you should plug that. I think it's a really good idea. And I think it'd be super fun to see. And if they could still film it there.
Oh my God, that'd be crazy.
I mean, even if they did a smaller set, but if they filmed it there, that'd be really funny.
Yeah. Squid Game. That'd be crazy.
Okay. So was it hard? The other thing people think about, like, okay, you say you're going to go on a reality show you want to go on. When it gets down to the logistics of stuff, it does get tricky because, especially with Squid Game, and I mean, most reality shows take weeks to film, but this is out of the country, no contact with anyone. So you can't send a work email. You can't call your family at the end of the night. That's what makes it really immersive and different than most stuff. Was it hard for you to take off work?
At the time, so I was training to be the professional baseball player. Everyone knew that I was a baseball player in there. But there was a time where I was in crunch time. I was just training really hard, super hard, super hard. I remember I was throwing in front of teams about like literally 1 month after we were scheduled to come back. And I think as an athlete, it's really weird to just drop everything. Mind you, like I'm a pitcher, so I have to continue to condition my arm over and over again. So when we're in the games, I can't throw, I can't run, well, you can run, but it would be gross. But you know what I mean? I think that was more of like the things I was worried about is like, I potentially would get worse if I'm not doing anything. Like I would not get the professional job that I want, like be a professional baseball player. So yeah, it was really tough to make that decision and try to figure out like the timeline of like when I can train, when I can, like I'm not going to train, what I do when I get back. So there was a lot of damage control, but it was cool at the end of it. I mean, it all worked out, but I get what you mean. Like, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah. It wasn't hard for me because I do freelance work as a hairstylist and makeup artist. And then my clients that I take at home, they knew it was like, so it wasn't too hard for me, but a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I have people running, like the people with big social media accounts, they had people running their accounts. They already had to make all these posts ready to go. There was real estate agents that were like, well, I'm losing a house, you know, because somebody else has to sell it for me. That's kind of crazy. Think about that before you apply for these shows too. Think about if you can actually leave your job and come back to it.
Yeah. And it's not like a short time. I think it's like 3 weeks, right? They gave us 3 weeks.
And then I think if you were the winner, it was going to be 4, closer to 4. So
that's a long time off work. So yeah, you're going to have to really think about even when you continue if you get selected, continuing your process, there's a lot of things to think about.
Yes. You said that you grew up with a ton of sisters. How do you think that changed? Like, because you're the only boy?
Yeah, I'm the youngest too. Yeah. Only guy. Okay. Youngest of the 2 older sisters. And that really, I'm actually grateful for that. You know, as I get older, I think it really shaped my personality because, I guess I have a masculine and a feminine side. Like I'm usually surrounded by women, not in a romantic way, but kind of just like in a friendly way. I just get along with them better. And I think it kind of just opens up my personality and allows me to, you know, like more things like singing, ballads, all that stuff. Like I love theater and stuff. I think I get the best of both worlds. But I think if you were like in a different atmosphere, you would be a little bit more masculine. You like more masculine things. I feel like I like a combination of both. And it allows me to like, it helps me in the real world when it comes to like, you know, having conversations with women and men. You know what I mean? So
that makes sense. And I was wondering if you'd like heard your sisters talk about like, you know, their icks with men or hearing them talk about dating and that kind of like clocks to you, like what not to do.
It's definitely helped me out with dating for sure. I think I kind of know what I want, and in women, I know what women want as well. And it's kind of just like, there's different ways to like a respect. You know, there's a respect, you know, understanding. And it was funny the other, I think someone made a comment. I think one of the Squids made a comment where like, oh, you could tell he was raised by sisters because he's not pushing the girls out the door. And he's like, the way that he's like talking to them, I guess. Yeah, it's really helped me out.
Yeah, that's good. So manifestation now, if you are going to manifest any show you could go on in the future, what would it be? What's your dream show to get cast in?
I was thinking a lot about dating shows, to be honest, because I mean, I date in the real world and sometimes the real world sucks. So it's nice to spice things up and, you know, bring some personality onto a dating show. So that would be really cool. I really love competition shows and stuff, but I think the number one would probably be a dating show. I know there's a lot of things I got to figure out in the real world before I go on to a dating show, you know, career wise, because I'm not going to just start dating someone and just, you know, not know what I'm doing in life. But yeah, dating show, but competition shows, I love it. I love watching them. I love, you know what I mean, being involved. And I enjoyed my time at Squid Game. Some people thought it was like pretty crazy, but I enjoyed it. I'll definitely go back for sure.
Yeah.
Manifesting a dating show. So if anybody's watching this, please Just because like I got some personality, you know, just bring some personality. Because when people go on TV shows, they're like dull and they're just like boring and stuff. And it's just like, why did they pick this person to be on there? And
it is weird. Some of the times you're like, this was the bottom of the barrel. I mean, maybe the producers are doing it to rage bait us because they know we're gonna be like,
no, seriously. And I swear to God, they picked the most like messed up guys ever to do the craziest things to these girls. Like I feel like these girls are getting trauma from these dating shows. That's why they don't want to go back, because oh my God, the things that they do, they're horrible.
100%. Do you remember what your casting video was, and do you still have it?
No, I don't. I
don't have mine either.
No, people.
I don't have mine. I remember though. So I saw the show. This is so funny. So I saw the show, and me and my husband had watched all of Squid Game: The Challenge season 1. We were like, oh my gosh, they made this. I didn't feel like there was a lot of promo or press for that because we just kind of stumbled across it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. We watched the whole thing. The very last episode, we finished around midnight or something, and he goes to bed, and I'm going to come into bed, and I'm like, I'm going to go apply, be on that show. Literally never have applied for any reality shows in my life. It wasn't even on the radar. And I was like, I bet I could do that. I walk into my like guest bedroom. I held up the phone and I'm like, hi, I'm Britt. I'm from Utah. I'm a celebrity hairstylist, blah, 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 blah. And I think I said something about being like I was like, oh, I could pretend, I could manipulate people or something. But it was like a 30-second video, sent it, applied super quick, done. Yeah. Don't hear anything. And then literally like probably 7-8 months later, I get this text that's like, hey, this is the producer from Squid Game: The Challenge season 2. Can you download WhatsApp and are you free for a call today? And I was like, WhatsApp? And a bunch of Americans said that. They're like, WhatsApp is like a shady app, but the UK and everywhere else in the world, they use WhatsApp for everything.
All the time, yeah.
And I'm like, WhatsApp? So then I'm like, wait, what? But then I realized it couldn't be a scam because I told no one, not a single soul knew I applied. So I was like, wait, what? So I hurry and call my husband. I'm like, hey, 8 months ago I applied to be on that show and they called me. He's like, what? I was like, I know, it's crazy. So I just sat in a parking lot and did the call like right 15 minutes after that. And I was feeling really good about it. But she asked me a question. She said, do you think you're good at keeping secrets? And I didn't think she was asking about like keeping a secret about being on the show or keeping my involvement a secret.
Yeah.
I thought she was asking like in the game maybe. And I was like, not really. I mean, like, and then I was like, oh, she meant like, can you keep your involvement a secret? Which I was really good at. Like my parents didn't even know. Nobody knew except my husband. So.
The casting call was kind of just one of those things we recorded and then you forget. And not that you're going to get, call at all. And then like, I even forgot that I even applied to it. I missed the call too. Like I got a voicemail and she's like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah from Squid Games. I'm like, I don't even remember applying for that. And I was like, oh shit, because it had to be real. Like you said exactly, because I haven't even told anybody. Like, and I was like, wait a minute, I did apply for it. And it was my first time ever applying for something too, which is crazy.
Yep. It does open up the door though, because you just have so much fun that you're like, this would be fun to do again. Like you're like, another one.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to go back. People don't understand, like, but when you're in like reality TV, it's hard to like, not to be like, it's hard to like escape you. You know what I mean? Like once you're in it, it's kind of like you can bounce to another TV show. People don't understand how quickly you're already in the system. You're already meant to process, and people like people, especially from Netflix too. So it's possibilities.
And I agree with that too. It's like you've already been vetted, so the process going forward is easier. You already know what to expect. One of the things about Squid Game specifically is that they really prep you. I do feel like they prepare you very well. Like, this could be traumatic. Are you sure you're up for this? Are you sure you can handle, when people come for you online and they're going to be hating on you? And can you handle that type of stress and pressure and blah, 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 blah. And they really prepare you for that. But specifically Squid Game: The Challenge, anyone who's been on this, you could do anything else and come out like being totally fine, not traumatized, because this is the top tier of trauma, of no connection to the outside world, not sleeping, the food's trash. Like we could do anything after this.
They literally told us it was going to be like prison. They literally told us.
Yeah. Do you have more followers on TikTok or Instagram?
From, on which one? What do you mean? Like, Instagram, which one has more
followers? Yeah.
Yeah, I think a TikTok is probably my biggest one. I'm almost at 10K on Instagram, but I'm at like, I just hit 27,000 on TikTok, which is crazy because when I came out the games, I was only at like 1,200, and then I just started posting randomly, and it grew from there. So like in a matter of months. Yeah. But what I do on there is kind of just like it's whatever. I think if I get more serious in it, I think it'll be bigger than what it is. But I don't know. I think coming out of Squid Games, I met like a bunch of influencers. I mean, Sydney has like 2.3 million. I was just, I'm just gonna post whatever, and it just makes you get into it, I guess. to prepare
Yes.
yourself, to prepare yourself. So
I think so too. And I think too, like trying to monetize anything, we don't know if it's going to get us any followers based on our screen time. Like you never know how much screen time you're going to get. But
Yeah.
I had 120 TikTok followers when I went in, and I have 10K right now. Like I'm almost like I have like 300. I'm like, oh my God. But Instagram, I never pushed, and it's such a different algorithm that it's been shocking. Like my podcast on there. So I told you I have over 8 million views on the podcast clips that I do with the mortician. They're fascinating. He's really fun to talk to. He has crazy stories. But then on Instagram, those same, like it'll get to like 2.3 million, 3 million. And then on Instagram, the same video gets like 1,500 views. I'm
it's
like,
really weird. It's really weird. When I post on Instagram, some of my Instagram videos go crazy, and then sometimes it doesn't translate to TikTok. It's really weird. I found a little hack to it when it comes to like the trial reels, so it doesn't show up on your profile and you just keep spamming. I think if you just keep spamming them over and over again, you're good. The same video, and sometimes it hits on Instagram, but you can't do that on TikTok, obviously.
I think what's super annoying on the Instagram is I'm like, what? So it says your professional dashboard. It says you've had over 215,000 views in the last 30 days. That's on mine. I have 570 followers on there. And like, granted, I just started it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
But like, why out of 200, only like 5? I'm like, come on. Like, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it's really
I'm
weird.
freaking out.
It's really weird. But you can tell that Instagram is kind of just like following the trend of TikTok as well when it comes to reels. Like reels are starting to become bigger now.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Okay, so your specific TikTok, your big thing that pops up on everyone's For You page is the dancing until my future wife finds my page. How's that going, and have you had any luck with it?
Okay, so like a little bit of back history is just like I was on a dating app and I was like, man, these dating apps suck. They suck so bad. And I was like, what if like one day they made a dating app where like it's a trailer of yourself? So I compiled, no one knows this, I compiled a bunch of videos of myself, and I made a post saying that it was my sister looking for brother applications, and the video blew up. So then I continued to keep doing it, and I got some crazy like I set up even an application page, and I got a lot of older women, which I don't. I was 23 at the time, so I kind of just don't like stray away from like my range. But I don't want to shoot them down either. You know what I mean? So there's some candidates out there. Yeah, there's some people I'm talking to who are really cool, but again, like they live far, so like to have like a romantic, I just don't want to hurt myself and them. But like I wouldn't stop conversing with them. So it did come out. There's a lot of things that came out with the TikTok when it comes to, potentially finding something. But now there's no one in my life yet. So we're living, but I guess, I don't know if I'm going to stray away from that or continue to do it. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, it's fun. It's like your little shtick at this point. Maybe just do less of them and still keep it as an ongoing thing. I don't know, but it's fun. It's fun to see when they come up.
Yeah. It's just me just setting up a camera and just one a day doing my thing. And then it's just, But.
So as far as like we're not going to talk about like professionally where you're headed, because it's not like, we're not going to talk about it. But if you had a choice, like let's say after Squid comes out and you start to get more followers and it's like possible to do the influencer thing, would you prefer to do that than what you're seeking professionally at this moment? Which one would you? Yeah,
I think I had one goal in my life, and that was baseball, and that didn't really work out too much. So I think the second thing was to be able to record videos and make people's days and be an influencer, have fun. I think that's still, that number one goal. The second thing is just happening. I think it's just more of a backup plan. Or if things blew up in Squid Games, I think I would have to have really big opportunities to switch up now at this rate. But I would love to. Like, I'll do it. Obviously, I'm rooting for it, honestly. So I would 100%. I think it's just you have more freedom in life. You get to explore life, and you get to not be like compounded to like going to work every single day. But like I can work on my own time, and just having fun. It really is just living life. That's the only thing I've ever wanted to do in life is just enjoy life. Yeah.
And then the only thing that's hard about that, though, is like if you get a real job, you get real insurance and those things. And that's so expensive, like when you're doing self-employment and taxes and stuff. But yeah, I know it is hard. I feel like the influencing thing, like now that I'm getting into it and I'm like, when things pop off, you have to keep feeding into the videos or responding to comments and be glued in more. Yeah. That's really hard for me because I'm like, my phone is now like with me constantly. Literally. And I wasn't used to that before. So I'm trying to decide like for myself, I'm like, is this worth the, like, I don't know. It's so hard to do because it's so much more than people think. So much more time.
Hit or miss. Like, you know what I mean? It's completely based on your audience. Like it's so hit or miss. And like when it comes to a job, like you just know it's going to be there. But like financially, like content creation is kind of just more like if you're going up, obviously, but like if it's still like a question mark, it's still really weird. You know what I mean? You have to make a decision.
Yeah.
You have to be like,
it's like how much time? Yeah, it's like how much time should I invest in this before I like go, okay, I'm gonna call it. It's not for me. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
okay,
he's been doing it on the side, and it's been doing its thing. Just letting it do its thing. But there's got to be a time if you just got to lock in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. 2 people that were your friends in Squid Game, and 1 that you would kind of consider an enemy.
Oh my God! We're calling people out. Okay. I think number 1 would be Alicia. I think me and Alicia we're like side by side on the plane as well. I don't know. Me and her kind of just meshed really well, like energy wise. We're just both goofy and, you know, just really bounce back off each other pretty well. I would say Alicia is definitely my number 1 in there. 2 would probably be either Selena or Robin. Before the games, it would be, if I was in the games, it would definitely be Robin. But after the games, it's really been Selena. Selena's really been like one of my sisters, I guess. Like she reminds me of one of my sisters. We hang out on the side. She's coming here for Halloween. We've just been, you know, really vibing. But she's like really sister-like. When it comes to enemy, oh God. Enemy. I wouldn't say Matt. I haven't really got to know Matt too much. I don't think I really made enemies in there.
Yeah. And I didn't mean like, you know, like I hate this person, just maybe someone that rubbed you the wrong way. You don't drive right.
I didn't like how Jonty was moving around in there. You can just tell that he was doing it for the screen and kind of a little rudish. Like he would just walk up to you and just say something random. And I guess that moved me a little bit in the wrong way, but it wasn't enough for me. Like they hate the guy, you know what I mean? So Jonty, we'll see. We'll leave it there. And I guess it was show and the show as well of like the way he's moving. It was show.
Okay, now we're going to only touch on this for 2 seconds and we won't call anyone out. However, you have heard about people getting divorced and people like crazy stuff, right?
I was about to bring that up. Yeah. Real quick. After, I don't know if it was like people like woke up or something, but without their phone and without their significant other, after the show, people were getting divorced. They were breaking up. They were cheating. They were doing so many things that I heard of. And I was just like, this is, I don't know if there's like something clicked in there or something where they just realized like, you know, I don't need this person anymore. But there was people like breaking up and then going with someone else from who they met. I don't know. It's crazy.
It was really shocking because like my thing was like, oh my God, like when I got eliminated finally, I was so relieved. Like I had just made it to a point where I was like, things are getting ugly now. It's not fun anymore. Obviously I still wanted to win, but like it just happened so quick and I was eliminated. And I was like, thank God. Like that was my first thought. I was like, thank God, I'm so ready to go home. I can't wait to see my husband. Like I need to process this with him. I can't wait. And I was like, people in here were like, it shocked me.
I was like, yeah, like they were like, oh, you have a boyfriend? She was like, yeah, I don't really like him that much. I was like, what? I was like, okay, yeah. It was crazy. And then someone, I think we have a group chat and someone texted in the group chat. They're like, so is like everyone getting divorced and broken up? And I think there was like 15 response saying yes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, there's so many divorces.
Really weird.
But divorces, there was a lot of divorces.
Something like snapped on people, I guess. It's weird because it's like, again, when you're home, you're like, okay, these people like, come on, you didn't really care for that person that much. Why are people crying when people get eliminated? People were getting divorced. What are you talking about? Like, people are not okay in there. Like something happened. I don't know.
Anyway. That in the processing room, people are going crazy in the process. People were snapping because they made us talk about like our life outside of Squid Games. People were going crazy in the processing rooms. It was crazy.
Wild. Okay. Being in there, were you affected at all by not having any alcohol or caffeine?
No, I was chilling. No, as an athlete, I don't drink caffeine or alcohol or anything like that. So it wasn't really getting me at all.
Oh, okay. Not even pre-workout? You're not caffeine?
Nothing. The only time I ever do that was when I was going out to pitch. But no, I wasn't a big caffeine person.
I had, caffeine was a really hard one for me. The alcohol and stuff, like who cares? The caffeine I was super worried about because I drink like 6 cups of coffee in the morning and I don't do any energy drinks or pre-workout, but I drink Diet Coke and I was like, oh my God, the migraines I'm going to have. So I had started like, even before I knew I was going to be on the show, I started like 6 weeks prior, like slowly dosing myself down because I was so worried. I was like, the thought of waking up and not having a cup of coffee is going to like be the worst part of it.
Yeah. And the thing is like, they supplied you with coffee in the tents before you went in as well, right? I think they did. They didn't?
Because remember, they even removed the coffee makers from the hotel rooms. You couldn't even have it in there.
I think that would be pretty bad. I don't know I think they had oatmeal in there. I don't know what they had in the tents. But yeah, nothing. No caffeine, no nothing. Just water and porridge.
Disgusting. Okay, this is just like a personal question before we wrap things up. So I ask everyone this that comes on the podcast. How do you decompress? What's your personal, like, when you're like, I'm freaking out, I need to decompress, what do you do?
I'm one of those who like kind of go like silent, I guess, or like I like to spend time with myself. So mainly like if I'm decompressing, I like to do something that's just away from what's making me kind of like, I'm not saying that I don't like face things at all, but I'm saying like,
right.
If there's a time where I can just walk away and do what I like to do, you know, go sit down and like play a game or something, or like, you know what I mean, go for a walk or a hike. I think it's just, that's one of my decompresses thing. Anything that involves me by myself. That's it.
Yeah. That's valid. I feel like I'm more like that too. Just, I like have to just like let my brain quiet down and I can't like interact as much. A lot of people have told me that their decompress, the way they decompress is around people. Like they're like, I have to be with my friends to decompress and I was like, wow, it's just interesting to me how everyone is different. But yeah, I'm like, whatever is going on in my brain, it's like buzzy. And then I just need to like quiet and
just be with yourself.
And I try to put my phone away because when my phone starts going off, I'm like, okay. Okay, Gio, before we wrap it up, drop your socials, all of them, and where people can find you.
Sure. Yeah. Instagram, it is Giovanni.Canales17. TikTok is Gio_Canales. I'm going to change that, by the way. And then my YouTube is Giovanni.Canales. All of it's going to be my name. Everything is in my name just because I don't feel like making a weird name.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put it in the show notes as well. And that's a wrap, you guys. Huge thanks to Gio for coming on and proving that even if you get eliminated early from Squid Game, you can still win on TikTok and possibly in the future with his love, finding his wife, finally watching. Don't forget to follow him, follow Girl Hacked. And as always, stay unbothered, stay Delulu, and maybe dance your way into someone's algorithm this week. Bye.
Bye, guys.